So you'll recall that the Dunedin City Council recently launched the SOS campaign, fronted by councillors Newell and Benson Pope. Now, last week we spoke with Opposition Health spokesperson Dr David Clark, and to provide balance at the South today, we're now hosting ACC Immigration and Workplace Safety Minister Michael Woodhouse to the studio. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening, Craig.
You're no stranger to the studio. Good to have you back.
Not at all. Well, lovely to be back.
It's been reported in the news, and we need to have clarity on this, that you have not supported the local government addressing the Dunedin Public Hospital. Have you been fairly inaccurately reported?
Oh, look, I support the sentiment of the council's position, but I just can't understand the timing or the inconsistency with the decision they made to allow another organisation to do due diligence on a very important piece of land. Now, it's important, I think, to set out the government's position on this, and what they've said is that they fully support the rebuild and will finance it. They support the maintenance of the tertiary services that are provided there, and the Dunedin School of Medicine isn't going anywhere on our watch. Where the hospital will be is going to be a function of whether the main hospital block is a refurbishment or a replacement, and that information isn't to hand yet.
Okay, so everybody's basically on the same page.
Doesn't feel like it, but yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, right. So the DCC, Benson Pope and Newell, and et al. Others, is this a meddling or is it a conjunction of services, assistance of services?
I think, firstly, I understand the strong feelings that are held about the importance of maintaining the health services in the South.
Yes.
But look, it's election year. I can see people getting ahead of a decision that government may make in the future that they could claim credit for. If we really wanted to play politics, we'd have made an announcement now which would have been knee-jerk and premature. It's really important we get the engineering expertise understood before we make decisions about what, and then we can make a decision about where.
Right, because you can never forget that this is an election year, and it's going to be a tough year for National as well. Keeping your seat is not going to be as easy as it may have been over the years previously. Considering this upcoming general election, is there a solid plan that we could possibly draw you on, or draw from National, about what might happen with Dunedin's, the teaching hospital in particular?
Well, look, the teaching component is very much a part of the future. The Dunedin School of Medicine, the physiotherapy school, the dental school, they're all very iconic parts of the University of Otago, and they're world class. They're not going anywhere. So it really is important that we have a physical infrastructure that supports that. Look, I understand the partnership group are going to be in a position in about late June or early July to be able to say, make a recommendation to government about what it thinks needs to happen. Questions about where are really important, but I think they're premature and will be able to be judged on that once we've made those decisions.
Because it's a number of physical questions to ask and fiscal questions to be answered yet. Can you offer any sort of, well, wall to play with?
Well, the government is committed to the financial support of the rebuild. The question of physical will also depend on what services are required. This is a 50-year look into the future. I think if we were to turn the clock back 50 years and find out how health services were delivered then, the hospital I ran used to have cataract surgery patients stay for a fortnight. Now they're unlucky if they stay for 3 hours. It's very much built around an ambulatory and community model. That's not to say we're not going to need a high-performing tertiary level hospital, but where it'll be, what it'll look like will largely depend on the information that's being gathered right now.
No doubt you'll be back in the studio again. Thank you very much indeed, Michael Woodhouse.